Hello, Scorpio. Welcome back to the channel, or if it's your first time here, welcome. This is Gwendolyn, and this video is going to be a monthly Terrascope for Scorpio for September. So I'm going to shuffle the cards a little bit here, and then I'll get right into the reading. And as always, if you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can do that. I will have a link up above. Let's see what's coming up for Scorpio. We just finished that intense eclipse season at the end of August. That was really intense for a lot of people. And we are still in the Mercury retrograde phase as September opens, and that will be going on through November 5th. But on November 5th, Mercury will go back direct. So things will begin to feel less haywire, less like they're scrambled, and begin to go forward again. So we all just have to hang on for another week or so as September opens to let that subside. And I'm switching it up a little bit this month. I'm going to do a Celtic cross here. If you prefer the old format, let me know. Or if you prefer this one, just let me know in the comments. And I will definitely be reading those. So your energies for September. Okay, going on for Scorpio. The central focus for September for you. Interesting that you've got 2 sevens here. Now, sevens are usually some sort of spiritual affair or spiritual challenge. And I see with 7 of Swords and 7 of Cups that there's something that's a little bit underhanded about what's going on. This may be someone who's showing up in your situation, someone who's cutting corners or just considering themselves in this situation. And you may be having a hard time seeing things for what they are. When 7 of Cups shows up, this is your basis. Sorry, this is the situation, and this is what's challenging it. Or this is difficulties, opportunity to overcome something. It's kind of like saying you're being invited to see through the fog, see things as they are. When this card shows up, it can sometimes be either having multiple options, having a choice to make about something, but it can also mean seeing things through rose-colored glasses. And that's how I'm reading it here for you, Scorpio, because I'm seeing that there may be someone who is acting in a way that is very self-serving, that is trying to get away with something. This is the Thief card, 7 of Swords. And this potentially could be you, but I'm seeing it more as someone else in your environment. It could go either way, really. But I'm seeing that it may be hard to see through that right now. This is like a level of fog. It's very Neptunian. It means that you may be seeing things in an idealized way, or wearing rose-colored glasses when it comes to this situation. The sense that I get, Scorpio, is that you're trying to see someone. There's actually 2 readings I'm getting on this, that you're trying to see someone in better light than they actually are. So they're behaving like this, and you're trying to say, no, I'm seeing the best of them. I'm seeing them through rose-colored glasses. I'm trying to highlight the shimmering side of them. I'm trying to see them as a good option, it's really like you need to take them off the pedestal and take those rose-colored glasses off because it's preventing you from seeing clearly. That's one possibility. Or if there's something that you're trying to do under the surface, this is like a smoke screen that is, you're hoping that someone may not be seeing something. Again, I'm reading this more as someone else in your environment, Scorpio, but it really could go either way. So your challenge or your opportunity to address things is to remove this smoke screen and see things as they actually are. This means that things will eventually come to light. This guy's trying to get away with things, cutting corners, doing his own, looking out for number one, looking out for his best interests, not really caring about the consequences. This is called risky behavior. And this card is also called putting your head in the tiger's mouth. So if there's risks, you also want to consider that 7 of Cups means doing due diligence and researching things, looking beyond what is just sparkling on the surface and looking at like actually how things are. So I want you to just be careful as summer goes, Scorpio, because be careful of any me behavior, either on your part or anyone else's, because there's going to be a tendency to see it through rose-colored glasses and to employ a smoke screen around it where it's like, I'm trying not to really see that. That is part of the influence of what's going on in December. I do see there's someone here, this is Page of Swords, who is really committed to the truth. And that is what underlies the situation. So if there is someone who is acting like this, there's someone who's willing to confront this person. That's Page of Swords. Now, this could be you saying, I'm with the truth. The sword here represents the one true idea, the one belief. And Page is maybe inexperienced, a novice, but he's willing to communicate the truth and say, no, look, buddy, look at what you're doing. Or you can't get away with that. Or, I know what the truth is and I'm willing to stand up for it. That's what Page is about of Swords, is that he's willing to be sharp and stand up for the truth and say, this is what I believe. I'm committed to it. I'm willing to pursue the truth. This guy is not so much, So I get the sense that in number, there's someone who is acting in a shady way. And there's also someone who's like, hey, I see what you're doing. This is what you bring to the situation, Scorpio. So you have an inner knowledge or an inner knowing about what's going on. This could be someone that you're observing, at work or in your environment that is kind of getting away with something and you're seeing through it, is what Page of Swords tells me. So don't be afraid to stand up for the truth, is what Page of Swords does. And you are also represented by Knight of Wands here, which is confident and bold and daring and willing to take action. So between Page of Swords and Knight of Wands, you come into with a lot of strength, seeing things as they are, willing to take on challenges. So let's see what else is going on for you. You got another page here. This is young, fiery energy, passion, enthusiasm, motivation. This is like, I'm ready to get in the game, sign me up. And it's showing up. So whatever is showing up for you in this way, it may mean, because this is in your passing away position, it may mean that you at one time had a great amount of enthusiasm for something, a great amount of showing up and being present and motivated and passionate and just like ready to take something on, ready to learn. But I see, and he's also a card of a time for action. I see that kind of passing away. And what's approaching is Seven of Coins, which means being patient, seeing how things develop, seeing how things unfold, assessing where you have come and what efforts you've put forth. It could be too that you came at something with a lot of enthusiasm. This could even be towards a new job, but that because you discovered something about someone in that environment that is under the surface, that you're just waiting and seeing, that you're taking a moment to pause and reflect, because there have been a certain amount of work that you've done regarding this. This is Eight of Coins. This means grinding it out, working on things, creating money through effort, productive work. When this is in the reverse position, it's saying that there may be a pause in some of that. I'm kind of getting that something sapped your passion, motivation, enthusiasm about something. And I really get the sense that it's about someone's actions and behavior that is less than noble, less than ideal, less than fair or just. And with the smoke screen over it, it may be that you saw them in a certain way through rose-colored glasses, or that others do, and they're being hidden from that. And it's really sapping your energy to go the extra mile, to put in the extra effort, to crank out the extra work that needs to be done. So you're kind of just in this place of, let's wait and see. Let's see what what work has been done, what's going to be undone. You're almost like waiting for the harvest. That's what this card's about. It's the farmer card. And it is about waiting for fruits to ripen on the vine. I'm kind of getting that you're waiting for the right time on something. You may be waiting for the right time to share the truth about what you know or what you've seen that is reckless behavior, risk taking. I'm getting for some of you that you have witnessed an accident or something and that you're waiting for the right time to share the information. But there's definitely coins energy here, so they may have something to do about work. And whatever you brought to the situation in terms of passion, motivation, idealism, this is kind of either bumming you out or it's giving you a bad vibe. It's like I know something's not right about the situation, even though I can't quite see it. I'm just going to wait and see. And maybe I'll just slow my roll. Like I'll slow down in terms of putting a lot of effort into it until I see what manifests, what comes about. So I kind of get the sense, Scorpio, that you are biding your time and for the results based upon something that is happening that was underhanded or unjust or someone's reckless behavior. So that's what I'm seeing in general. I do see that you have a lot of strength, a lot. Remember, you've got Knight of Wands, Nine of Wands, Emperor, and Nine of Swords here. This is really interesting because this is saying that you're kind of tangling in your own mind about something. You have information that you want to share, but you're not sure when to do it. You have discovered something and you're not sure. You're going over and over in your mind, like, what should I do about this? Kind of fighting yourself in your own mind, like what's right, what's not right. It's making you anxious and tense. So, but I do see this card, Knight of Wands is boldness, confidence, being daring, having courage. So that's you in the situation. So I do see that you come well equipped to the situation. You may have had to go from, page being open, being willing, being passionate to like putting some armor on and protecting yourself and, mustering your own courage. I get that that's going on for you and remember about something. And this is your environment, which is the Survivor card. So the Survivor card means getting knocked down and getting back up again, showing endurance, showing the willingness to keep at something even though you keep getting knocked down. And in the reverse position, I see that it may be like you're having a hard time maintaining your endurance. It's kind of saying like, I'm again getting that the wind got taken out of your sails by something, that discovering that this person may not be who you thought they were is really, again, just bumming you out or taking the wind out of your sails and like, do I have to go through this again? Or do I have to endure this? Or do I have to survive through this? There's something that is challenging you in terms of getting through this situation. But I think what's serving you the most is just sort of pulling back and observing. That's what's coming in. And I also see too, this is your hopes and fears card, and this is authority. They're watching this. It's really interesting because you can see all eyes are on this figure. If you look at the person in the central focus, this is really centered around them. I kind of get the sense that this is you or someone who has exited the situation. This is the past that's dissolving away. And then this is the Farmer card, observing, and the Emperor looking at this guy saying, look, he's getting away with something. So I do get the sense that this is coming out. And I do get the sense that your hopes and your fears are both to do with someone in authority discovering this. This is like the head of the company or the boss or the landlord or the authority figure, the elder, the person who is in charge and makes the rules and enforces the rules. So it's funny, I'm actually getting for some of you that this is a friend that is doing things that are underhanded perhaps, and that there's a smoke screen over it. So what you kind of are wanting but also fearing is that this is discovered. This is brought to the attention of this emperor person to make things right. And that might be part of the tension and anxiety, is maybe knowing a secret about your friend that is something that you don't know quite what to do with it. It could be a friend who is operating either at work or in a relationship or in some manner that is not cool. It's shady. And you're like, this is stressing me out. I wish I didn't know about this. I wish that it's kind of keeping you up at night, like thinking, they're about to get caught with something. And you may feel like defending them, or you feel like outing them. I kind of just get that you're tired of going into battle. This is what Nine of Wands is. And you might be tired of defending them. This is a card of defense, being on the defensive, being paranoid, being like looking over your shoulder. And you're tired of that. There may be something that you just don't want to be involved in anymore. You're waiting for it to see how it plays out, but it's kind of stressing you out mentally. And what I always say about this card is that don't let your mind take over. If you have 3 thoughts that you're dealing with here, don't turn it into 9. Don't make a mountain out of a molehill, and don't let your mind take over, because all it does is bind you up. It creates stress, anxiety, tension. And ultimately, in this card, it's really about fighting yourself in your own mind. So I'm going to say, just retain your steadfastness, your confidence, your boldness here as Knight of Wands, and stick with the truth. As Page of Swords, both of these cards are representing you. You're in a good place. You're in a place of honesty and strength, confidence, and being willing to stand up for the truth. For some of you, you may be being brought forth as a witness for something. Or you just have a piece, I'm getting the sense that some of you have a piece of information that you wish you didn't have. Because Page of Swords is the young one the innocent who knows the truth. And Knight of Wands is someone who's willing to take action, but he can sometimes be reckless. So I get the sense you don't want to fight anymore. You don't want to defend. You don't want to be engaged in battle anymore. This is the weary soldier who in some decks has his head bandaged, and he's just he's looking over his shoulder and he's like, where's it coming at me next from? So it's saying to me that you want some authority figure. This could actually be the police. This could be justice. Again, the boss, the landlord, the elder, the head of the company, the parent, whoever represents authority and structure and the way of, establishment. You want them to know about this, but you also are afraid for them to find out. There's something, you both want that and you fear that. And what that tells me is that you know this person and it's stressing you out. So I'm going to say, Scorpio, for her, just pull back, wait and see, or wait for the right time. That's what this card says. This is what's coming in, is waiting for the right time. It's actually interesting. You've got 3 sevens here. So there's some sort of spiritual challenge that's going along with this. You'd be tested in some way to see where your allegiance is, or how committed to the truth coming out you are. And really, it's going to be a timing game. Seven of coins says wait for the right time. Be patient. Know when to harvest something. Know when the fruits are ripe. And when you do so with courage and boldness. And, almost like armor yourself. If you can, there's something about going into battle and not wanting to go into battle. And that's what's stressing you out. So if you can, find a way to equip yourself with just being strong, being bold, being the person of action, but you don't necessarily have to rush into action like Knight of Wands does. Try to be like the farmer and just pace yourself and just bide your time. There are good things coming in. It's just that the time may not be right. And you don't necessarily, although this may be impacting the situation, you don't necessarily have to be connected to that. You can remain here on the outside and just be committed to truth, approach it in an innocent way. Both of these cards are about youth and innocence. it's going to be tough to just focus on your work because this is on your mind. But you can just kind of hang and wait until the time is right. That's what I'm really getting for you is wait until the time is right and try not to overthink things, Scorpio. So that's what's going on for you. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to put those down below. And as always, I just want to thank everyone so much for watching. Yours in the stars.